The story of the Chinese master Cao Feng. The Chinese master Cao Feng entered the priesthood at the age of 15 and was ordained at the age of 20 in the monastery of Qinzhou. Cao Feng comprehended that all human beings are miserable, sleeping automatons. Therefore, he proposed to awaken his consciousness as soon as possible by means of the science of meditation. Cao Feng performed his first works under the intelligent and wise guidance of the master Tuan Chiao, who taught him how to work with the Hua Tou, or the Hua Tou mysterious phrase. Where was I before birth? Where shall I be after death? Cao Feng decided to work with this Hua Tao. However, he was unable to concentrate his mind on it due to the bifurcation of this phrase. The Hua Tao divided his mind into many opinions and opposite conceptions or concepts. And Cao Feng suffered unbelievably. He yearned with all of his heart and all of his soul to liberate himself from mental dualism. It is impossible to experience the reality as long as the essence, the Buddhata, the soul, continues bottled up within the intellectual dualism. Opposing opinions, the struggle between opposite concepts and antithetic ideas correspond to the different illusory functions of the mind. Thus, Cao Feng anguishedly wept tears of blood. He only aspired to free himself from the bottle of mental dualism, but he failed with the Hua Tao of Master Tuan Xiao. The story goes on to tell of Cao Feng's terrible anguish and desperation. He speaks Master Sui Yin, who, feeling compassion for his pain, teaches him the powerful mantra Wu. Master Sui Yin demanded daily reports from him about his work. The mantra Wu is chanted with a double Wu, Wu Wu, as if imitating a howling hurricane amongst the boisterous waves of the furious sea. During this exercise, the mind must absolutely quiet, and in a profound and frightful silence, both in the exterior as well as in the interior, not even the slightest desire nor the most insignificant thought must agitate the profound lake of the mind. The explanations of Master Sui Yin were indeed so simple and clear that his disciple Cao Feng fell into negligence and laziness because he frankly did not need to make any effort to comprehend them. However, Master Sui Yin, in spite of his accustomed sweetness, also knew how to be very severe when necessary. One day, Cao Feng entered Master Sui Yin's room as usual. His master very severely asked, "Who has brought this corpse in your name?" He was barely finished with the question when he threw Cao Feng out of the room. Soon, Cao Feng followed Qin Shan's example and sought refuge in the meditation room. The exercises of inner meditation gradually provoke the awakening of the consciousness, the awakening of the Buddhata. Before the internal suprasensible representations, the neophyte begins to react in a very distinct, very different manner than usual. He begins saying, "I am dreaming. This is a dream." Later, happily, he exclaims, "I am out of my physical body. My physical body is asleep, but I am out of my physical body, totally cognizant and awake." On one occasion, while Cao Feng was out of his sleeping body, he remembered with total meridian clarity the koan that asks, "If all things are reduced to a unity, then unto what is unity reduced to?" Chinese traditions tell us that at the moment or at that moment, his mind was filled with terrible confusions to the point that he could no longer distinguish east from west or north from south. On the 6th day, while enduring such an unhappy mental state in the lumicile of meditation, with infinite devotion, Feng whispered the collective prayers. Then, when he lifted his head, he clairvoyantly saw those last two mysterious phrases of that Oriental poem, composed by the 5th patriarch Pa Yan. "Oh, it is thou whom I have always known, thou who comes and goes in the 30,000 days of a century." Immediately, Feng began to work with the mysterious and enigmatic phrase, "Who has brought this corpse in your name?" It had remained recorded within his mind ever since that day, in which Master Sui Yen had pronounced it. It was impossible to forget. He felt as if his mind and his personality had perished, and as if his divine spirit had resurrected after death. He felt happy, as if a huge load and an enormous bundle had been lifted from his shoulders. He achieved his goal. He attained the awakening of his consciousness in 3 years. He was then 24 years old. When Feng was asked, "Can you dominate yourself in plain daylight?" he answered with firmness, "Yes, I can." "Can you dominate yourself when you are dreaming?" His answer was again, "Yes, I can." "Where is the master when you sleep without dreaming?" Feng was unable to find the answer for this question. Thus, new inner sufferings afflicted the depth of his soul. Then the master told him, "From now on, I do not want you to study Buddhism nor Dharma. I do not want you to study anything, neither ancient nor new. I only want you to eat when you are hungry and to lie down when you are tired. As soon as you wake up, make your mind alert and ask yourself, who is the master of this awakening, and where does his body rest and where does his life lead?" Feng was certainly a man of dilemma, willpower. Thus he decided with total firmness that in some way he had to understand this, even if his determination might make him look like an idiot for the rest of his days. 5 years of intensive work elapsed. One ordinary day, when he was working on this matter in the middle of his sleep, a fellow monk who slept beside him in the communal dormitory of the monastery unconsciously pushed his pillow, and it fell noisily on the floor. In those moments, his doubts immediately disappeared. He felt an immense joy knowing that he had managed to jump over another trap. All of the mysterious phrases of the masters and Buddhas and all of the multiple problems of the past, present, and future became clear to him. Since that moment, Feng became enlightened. There exist 2 types of enlightenment. The first is usually called dead water because it has attachments. The second is praised as the great life because it is enlightenment without attachments, illuminated void. The first type of enlightenment is awakened consciousness or self-cognizance. The second type of enlightenment, even when in the 4th way, is called objective knowledge, objective consciousness. Indeed, it transcends that which is called consciousness. The second type of enlightenment, therefore, has nothing to do with the consciousness. It is the being, and the reason for the being is to be. Or rather, the reason for the being to be is to be the same being. Feng became, in fact, a Turiya, because by means of an in-depth, the world is crystallized mind. I think it's missing a word here. In-depth study, I guess. The world is crystallized mind. This is why it is Maya, illusion. Therefore, this world, an illusory form of the mind, will be reduced to cosmic dust at the end of the great cosmic day. Indeed, my person, your person, people, things, and creatures of all kinds do not exist. They are merely mental, illusory forms that must be reduced to cosmic dust. The only reality is Brahma, the spirit infinite space, within which the eternal feminine and the sacred monad are contained. All else is illusion. In the end, we must become lost within something. Millions of human beings become lost within the infernal worlds. But the Gnostics, we prefer to become lost within Brahma. Meditation has achieved the absolute independence. Through meditation, he achieved the absolute independence from his mind. It is urgent to stop the mental contents, the citta, from acquiring diverse forms, vrittis, during profound inner meditation. When our mental waves have ceased and our intellectual lake has become calm, then the illusion produced by the waves of the opposites also ceases within us. Thus, the experience of the reality arrives. When the spirit infinite space called Brahma assumes any shape in order to speak with his avatars, he is then Ishvara, the master of all masters. He is a very special Purusha without mind, exempt from suffering of actions, results, and desires. Unfortunately, the only thing that the Luciferic intellect does is torment us with the incessant battle of the opposites. Feng liberated himself from the mind and became a Turiya.